Hey guys, George at Diamondyard Sportscards coming at you with another video. So excited about this Anaheim show coming up. Setup is tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I call it the Anaheim show, the Burbank show. But we're going to be out there, so please come by the booth. LA Collection, Grimy Mid Sportscards, and myself have 5 tables. Pretty excited, super excited about it. And when you go in the hall, if you take a right all the way to the wall and about halfway down, that's where we'll be at. So please come by the booth, hang out, shoot the shit, let's hang out a little bit, and it's going to be fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing people there, and I know it's tougher for people obviously in the East Coast. A lot of Californians, a lot of people who live in the West are going to be going to the show. So it should be a great time, 800 plus tables. So I wanted to come at you with this video. I picked up a card recently of one of my favorite players of all time, the great Satchel Paige, and it was an autograph card, and I'm going to go through that. But also want to talk a little bit about, you can see I got mad hits, like I was Rod Carew. Talk about Rod Carew and Tony Gwynn a little bit, and then I'll get to the cards shortly, but I got quite a few cards of Gwynn, Carew, and then some stuff of Satch, relic cards from Satch, and then the autograph card. So I wanted to talk about Rod Carew a little bit. Rod Carew with Luis Arraez average dropping like a stone, we can see that how difficult it is to hit 380, 390, 400. And, Arraez might even lose the batting title to Freddie Freeman at this rate. And I remember the 83 season when Carew hit 400, I believe, for the longest stretch into the season since Ted Williams. And then he was sitting, at around 400 around the All-Star break, kind of like Arraez was at 390. And he already had 7 batting titles under his belt in 83 by that point, and his prime years being the, 70s. And at that point, I was thinking how Carew's going to win his 8th batting title. And he's in like his late 30s. This is awesome. And even the great Rod Carew faltered, and he fell down the ladder, and a young third baseman from the Red Sox, Wade Boggs. Wade Boggs caught him and won the batting crown. And Carew ended up around 339, I believe, in 83. And Boggs hit, I believe, 360 something. So, anything can happen. It's such a long season. And even the greatest players, the greatest batting average hitters, it's hard to maintain that. So let's keep that in mind. I'm going to also talk about Tony Gwynn a little bit. So enough of my yammering. Come out to the Anaheim show and this weekend, and here we go. So I'll get my camera set here. Got a little Macho King out there. Last time I had Andre, come with the egg, of course, commented, which was awesome. So going to be going over these cards here. Rod Carew, one of my favorite players. We're talking about autograph cards. Here's a 73 Rod. I'm going to show a 73, a 74, a 75, and a 1980 Carew. What a great player. Won those batting titles. I think one in the late 60s, and then in the 70s won 6 more. And, he just exemplified class and, just collected Carew throughout my whole collecting life. And here's a beautiful 74. You can see he's just getting ready. Those wrists, this is getting ready in the cages, making a pose, but those wrists are going to whip that ball into the gap, probably the left center field gap. And here's a 75, a beautiful 75 mini. I always love 75 so much because it's just these pictures with a bat like that and an all-star logo, and I've talked about it before on my channel. The minis have lost some traction lately. Frankly, the regular cards seem to be not a lot more desirable, but it was a time when these minis were the 2X at least. Maybe not so much anymore. And then Carew got traded to the Angels, went to the Angels in 79, and that was his first major issue card, is this 1980. And then he had 79, I think, on Hostess and a few other issues, maybe team issues. So I'm just going to put this Carew, let's see if I have a stand somewhere. Maybe I don't, but I'll just put him right there. So Tony Gwynn, people talk about Tony Gwynn, and they can't say enough. 8 batting titles. Carew was his idol, just like Dr. J was Jordan's, and patterned his game after Dr. J. But Tony Gwynn, was thinking, I was talking to my son, and he says, "Oh my gosh, look at Julio Rodriguez. He's got the most 4-hit games in a season of all time, other than Ty Cobb." And I said to myself, well, that's awesome and all. At the same time, let's think about this. Let's really think about this. Julio, after all of these 4-hit games, after this monstrous month he's had, Julio is still batting, I'm giving him some credit here, I think 290. So Julio is batting 40, after having this many 4-hit games, Julio is batting 48 points lower than the lifetime batting average of Tony Gwynn, which is 338. So just to put that into perspective, now certainly Gwynn doesn't have the power that Julio did or does, but at the same time, and Julio's making a case for MVP certainly, but Julio, after all those hits, is still hitting approximately 48 points lower than than Gwynn's lifetime batting average, if I can put that into perspective for you. So we're going to keep that Tony Gwynn over there. Satchel Paige. I picked up a card courtesy of B-Roth, and I'll show some Satch stuff here. Here's a beautiful Upper Deck Ultimate Collection. And, 2004 and 2005 is kind of like this golden age of these, like, relic cards. Like I always say, they put what it was or what they purport it to be on the back. That this is a piece of material, came from a Cleveland Indians game, used an official Indians game, authentic piece of pants. So that's a Satch. Love this Ultimate Collection. Shout out to G's Mikey. I think he's got one of these in the Jackie Robinson. Got it from somebody. Anyway, again, looking forward to this show out in Long Beach, or out in Anaheim, the Burbank show. Here's a beautiful Upper Deck Hall of Fame materials set. This is an awesome set. I've shown it before. I love the stitching there. This is the silver. It's numbered to 15. And there's another silver that's also numbered to 15. There's a couple different poses of Satch. That's that one. But B-Roth pointed me in the direction of this card. I had talked to him about it at the National, how I really missed out on this Satchel Paige autograph card, and it was raw, and I knew it was real, and, buying those ungraded autographs or unauthenticated autographs. But anyway, I passed on it, and this is a beautiful one numbered to 10 from the same set. So I passed on it, and what happened was I regretted it, and B-Roth alerted me that Baseball Card Exchange had just listed this card. This is the 1973 Laughlin Old Time Black Stars Satchel Paige. Called by Dizzy Dean and Joe DiMaggio the best they ever saw, Paige dominated Negro baseball in the 30s and the 40s. The crowd swelled when he pitched, and he probably won more games than any other pitcher in history. Old-timers are split between Paige and Smokey Joe Williams as all-time tops. They actually said, they asked Satch about this, and they said, who's better, you or Smokey Joe? Or they had Smokey Joe number 1 and you number 2, and Satch said, that's about right. So here's a card. It's a terrible thing. There we go. There we go. So this is the 74 Laughlin Old Time Black Stars. The card is a 5. The auto is a 10. It's in ballpoint pen. Thank you, B-Roth, for turning me on to this. Here's a suggestion, guys. It was on eBay. I saw Baseball Card Exchange had it listed. I looked at their site, and they had it for, like 10% less. So that saved me a significant amount of money. But I know Mike Baseball Collector, and I did a autograph cards podcast, and this, I think I may have shown this one. But anyway, guys, I wanted to share this with you. Have an awesome weekend. Again, looking forward to seeing everybody out in Anaheim for the Burbank show. Take care, guys, and keep collecting.